I expected maybe a couple hundred people would watch it and accidentally passed 15,000 subscribers, made 60 grand last year. My number one thing I wish I knew about YouTube is the easier you make it, the more likely you are to actually do it. The exposure on a larger channel is more likely to grow your channel than having a big name on a smaller channel.
How'd you get on other people's channels?
So the easiest way that I've found to get on people's channels is...
Welcome back to the Think Media Podcast. We've been doing a series with tips for starting YouTube right, avoiding pain, avoiding mistakes, and what we wish we knew back when we started our channels. Today, I got Dion Talk, who's an expert in helping people reach financial freedom. And shout out to Michael Zuber and the One Rental at a Time community. We're here in Las Vegas at the event. We're all speakers and we are capturing some content so we can share it with you here on the Think Media Podcast. And so we're going to go through 5 tactical tips that you'll be able to apply. But Dion, thanks for coming on and tell people a little bit about when you started your YouTube channel and what it's all about.
Well, I appreciate the chance to be here. I'm actually a fan, watch your show all the time. And I actually live not too far from you, Sean. I was answering real estate and financial freedom questions on Facebook, Instagram, and I kept having to answer the same questions over and over and over. So I made a YouTube channel just so I could make videos to send to people and saying, you know, hey, do you need an LLC? How do you get your first property? Here's a short video on that. And I expected maybe a couple hundred people would watch it. And I started watching Think Media, got a little bit involved in how YouTube works, and accidentally passed 15,000 subscribers, made 60 grand last year off of, you know, affiliates and course and stuff. So thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a very inspiring and talks about the power of the creator economy and great job. So we'll go through your 5 tips here. First, you had just some easy ones, like some things to focus on. Go through this list because it's a powerful list of just a checklist of things to improve if you're starting YouTube.
Right. So the idea with the easy ones is if you go on YouTube and you search, how do I grow a YouTube channel? There's 1,000 channels that say these basic things. They're going to say your thumbnail, then your title. There's an order of operations, right? And followed by sound. Sound, most people don't realize, is more important than video. And then the topic, and then your video, and then your consistency. And those, they'll pop up over and over and over. So I came up with 5 that some of them are right from your channel. So if this sounds familiar, that's why.
So I'll go back through those. You said video, but also lighting. So video lighting as well. Yes. And those basics, you know, Michael Jordan says, master the fundamentals and everything else you do will rise. So even just saying those, and I know people are like, maybe I've heard those before. Well, yeah, but those, we want to master them and continue to improve them, but keep going.
Yep, totally agree. So in real estate and reaching financial freedom, the only reason it worked for me is because it had to be easy, or as easy as it could be. I'm what people call the lazy investor. I don't want a lot of properties. I wanted the right amount of cash flow from the least amount of units. And so my number one thing I wish I knew about YouTube is the easier you make it, the more likely you are to actually do it. And so I started out with, I want to be the next Graham Stephan, kind of edit the videos and work 10 hours a day on it while I was working full time, buying rentals, raising 3 kids as a single parent. And so I transitioned to, instead of 10 hours to make a 10-minute video, I take 20 minutes to make a 20-minute live. And the easier I made it, the more likely I was to do it. And the lives for me worked better because I can interact live in real time with people's questions.
So explain your schedule now. What does a week in the life of your show look like?
So I retired in 2022 from my full-time job, and every day is Saturday. So I never really know what day of the week it is, except I do a live stream every Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific. So I know I'm doing my live stream today. Must be Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I will release either a short, and my live stream on Tuesdays, this is how excited I get about the subject. It's 2 hours long. And at the end of it, I think, oh, it's over. Till next week. So on Thursdays, I'll do a short live where I don't answer questions. And then on Sundays, I release 1-year-old video where I take the intro to my live and I cut it out. So something I took from one of your podcasts was, to recycle the content, repurpose the content. And so I'll just take that intro where I'm giving people a chance to get their questions in the comments, put it out as a standalone video.
Wow. So, and this is very minimal editing or none. Either live or repurposing the intro. How do you do that?
So if I repurpose, I'm doing some editing. So I'm not the Michael Zuber of putting out videos that you don't edit, but my live, there's no editing. I use Zoom. I don't even use any of the fancy stuff. I'll probably go to StreamYard at some point. I can edit. And when I edit, people realize, oh, if he's that bad at editing, he must be able to do real estate, which makes it simple. So I can probably do it too.
That's what's inspiring about, again, I think this whole community, especially Michael Zuber, he goes the extreme. No editing. And look what he's done. But even you breaking this down, I hope that this is inspiring for the Think Media podcast, because there's this whole segment of YouTube that almost is defeating. Don't you feel that way? Like the level of editing, the level of the way people look, how they're communicating, you know, maybe the appearance of their team. You take it all the way to the Mr. Beast level and you're like, how am I going to compete with 500 people in $1 million budget, that spectrum? And so you're making this really practical. That's very inspiring.
Well, I don't think we need to compete with Mr. Beast because we don't need that many followers, fans, supporters, right, from your content. You just need your core 1,000.
Yes.
You can get 1,000 people interested in your niche, which is my fifth point.
Okay, we'll get there. Let's hit number 2. Okay. So you said the goal is not to get big names on your channel. The goal is to get on other channels. Break this down.
So a lot of people that have reached out to me and said, hey, you've got around 15,000 people on your channel. That's great. Congratulations. Can you come and talk on our channel? And their channel has 200 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers. And I'll say, absolutely. I love to get my information out there, but how about I help you out and get you on my channel? Because the exposure on a larger channel is more likely to grow your channel than having a big name on a smaller channel. So I'm trying to get on Michael Zuber's channel and share information with his subscribers. And, I have a episode of Real Estate Rookie. I'm a teaching assistant for the Bigger Pockets real estate boot camps with Ashley Kerr, who puts that together. And so getting on a channel that's bigger than mine has a bigger impact on my channel than having them, which they have. I've had some names from YouTube like Mindy Jensen and Jay Scott on my channel. And I get the same amount of views as when it's just me.
So that's big. So sometimes people think, man, if a celebrity guest or micro celebrity within your niche said yes to come on your channel, that would be the thing. No, getting on somebody else's channel. Why? How'd you get on other people's channels? Some credibility? Did you reach out, cold reach out, events, networking? How'd it happen? What advice would you have for people?
So the easiest way that I've found to get on people's channels is to interact on their channel, answer questions, talk to the other listeners. When your name is in the comments of a content creator's channel over and over and over, and I don't mean you don't go in there and put in, here's my channel, I talk about the same stuff. You actually give a thought out answer to other people's comments as often as possible. I say this in almost everybody's channel that I watch to support. I'll say, an angel gets its wings every time you hit the like button. And so I get kind of known for that. And so when I reach out, I say, I'm the angel guy. And they, oh, that's great. Can you come on and talk? We've been interacting for 2 or 3 months, but never met.
Strong. Okay. Number 3, the core audience is more important than the growth audience. It's nice to find a new person, but it's more impactful to interact with somebody over time. You only need your 1,000 true fans. Break it down.
Would you like a free copy of the #1 best-selling book for growing a successful YouTube channel? If you want to get a copy of the new and expanded 2nd edition of YouTube Secrets, just go to ytsecrets.com. And if you'll cover shipping and handling, I would love to send you this book for free. And the cool thing is, when you place your order, you're also going to get access to some bonus resources like our 1,000 subscribers club, our 7 C's framework, our perfect video recipe framework, as well as some bonus videos that will help you get results on YouTube faster. So to get your copy, just go to ytsecrets.com or click the link in the podcast show notes.
So if you grow a YouTube channel and you have hundreds of thousands of people who watch one video a week and they only know you for that video, are they going to want to meet you? Are they going to invite you to come and present as the closing speaker at their event? Are they going to want to take your course or buy your merch? Versus the person that you interact with, maybe do live streams, answer questions, go on their smaller channel and have that. I think I gave my personal cell phone out to about 50 people today. I will be texting people back and forth, interacting in my niche, because that interaction of those core 1,000 people will make you a lot more impact on their lives than the people you can impact by growing a channel really fast, but it only has a touch point of them watching your video.
Depth versus width. And your thing is going deep. And the 1,000 True Fans, if you've never heard, is Kevin Kelly's famous article that to sustain a creator business, a creator economy business, an entrepreneur creating content. And for professionals like you and people in this community, you got multiple flows because you got the cash flow from real estate, but you're also tapping into this incredible creator economy. You only need 1,000 true fans, but it's going to go a lot further. I love that you say this because sometimes I know even for me, I think about how do I go viral? Is virality really what you want? Or is depth, impact, and a strong community really what you want? I love your emphasis on going deep with a core audience.
I actually kind of have a fear of going viral because then I have to be narrowed down in my niche to what went viral instead of being able to talk financial freedom,
deep
real estate, making work optional. Because if I have, do you need an LLC or not video that goes to millions of views, now I'm the LLC guy and I don't want to do that.
Wow. We could go deep on that, but we'll keep going. Number 4, what is the exit strategy? Why do people quit? Like recently, not many people were quitting, but now it's been trending. So break down number 4 here.
I don't think a lot of people are quitting YouTube. I think the algorithm picked up people quitting YouTube. So we started seeing a lot more of those videos. And I actually put this one in here because I'm cheating and being selfish for myself. What is the exit strategy? This comment starts with a question. I could retire from my W-2, which I did in 2022. But I love YouTube and I like helping people. What is the exit strategy on a successful YouTube channel? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep watching your content because I expect a video in the next few months. How do you leave YouTube?
Yes.
If it's successful?
Well, the conversation here was Matt, Pat, and a couple other large creators. And the quitting YouTube thing was also a little bit overhyped because for some of them, they just quit being the face, but they're going to stay in the company. For some, they were quitting. And then it's also the idea of, they're quitting with millions of dollars liquid in the bank on the other side of a very successful YouTube career. It wasn't like quitting, like giving up necessarily, but it brought up questions of burnout. I completely agree with you. The algorithm was trending. And I made this tweet. I was like, the number 1 strategy for getting views early 2024 is make a why people are quitting YouTube video. Because it wasn't even the people that were quitting. Everyone jumped on the trend of here's my take. Just too funny. But it is a really great point. And, personally, I'm just waking up every day and trying to do my best and trying to steward. That's how I see it. We used to not have a team. Now we do. I used to not have a wife. Now I do. I used to not have kids. Now I do. I just think, how do I be the best leader? How do I just do my best with what I have today? But one of the things I have been intentional on is trying to design a self-managing company, trying to eliminate founder dependence, and trying to build a media brand, not a personal brand. I would say I'm trying to build a personal brand, but what we've been trying to do with Think Media, and we're about to go probably into another era because we have creators like Omar El-Takori who's launching out and couldn't be more proud of him and more excited about what he's doing. And we're seeing, is it possible? And here's our analogies. We've talked about SNL. Problem with SNL is I don't think it's funny. The good thing about SNL is it's still here. And they've had multiple comedians come through, multiple people come through. So I think, how do you exit a personal brand? I don't think you do. Unless you're Tony Robbins and you have packaged your IP, Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, unless you can actually package your intellectual property and it has value in and of itself beyond, let's say, your death. But I think, I don't know if you exit a personal brand, but I think the question becomes, what could you build that is exitable? And that's how I've been thinking at Think Media is, okay, thank God I didn't name it Sean Cannell. I actually named it Think Media, which was just a random name to pick. But here we are. And so now, could we build something? I'm learning a lot from Dave Ramsey, who's actually one of our speakers at Grow Up Video Live, because he's built Ramsey Solutions. He has Ramsey Personalities, which is a succession plan that he started 16 years ago. I would argue for some of these media companies, if you are not planning your exit strategy a decade out, a decade before you think you need your exit strategy, it's probably too late. Which that was heavy, like shoot. But I think that, again, I don't even plan on going anywhere. I just turned 40. I'm changing my time a little bit because I got a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old. But I am thinking about full on exit with zero plans of exiting. And I'm aggressively pursuing the elimination of founder dependence simply because if I don't start now, my thought is I won't be ready when the time comes.
It really shows to me how much I watch your content, because as you were speaking, I was thinking, well, it's like Dave Ramsey. Before you bring it up, Dave Ramsey went from Dave Ramsey Show to Ramsey Solutions.
Yep.
And I was thinking how smart you were going Think Media instead of the Sean Cannell Show.
Yes.
And the mistake I made, which hopefully the person watching won't make in their first year, mine is Dion Talk Financial Freedom. So when I start thinking of exiting about a year or 2 years before, that name is going to shift away from my personal name to whatever would be thereafter.
And I think build a team, think about media brand, or think about unwinding. With respect to everyone who's quitting, I think it's overhyped in some cases. Why not? It's actually kind of like sports. And then can you do something after? Of course, maybe you public speak, maybe can you leverage brand deals and wear Hanes if that is relevant, like some athlete. But a quarterback in the NFL has a limited career. And media might be similar to that, unless you think media brand, company brand. Conversation for another time. Didn't expect us to go deep, but here we go. Number 5, other content creators aren't the competition. They are funnels. No niche is 100% of the platform. We grow the niche and each of us add to it. You got some rich, nuanced points that you've shared today. I love this conversation. Breakdown number 5.
So I'm in real estate and financial freedoms. So you would think I wouldn't want somebody to watch somebody else's channel because they are competition. And when the truth is, we all bring something unique to our niche. Like, I'm known for being 2 things. 1, lazy. And 2, I have this thing called the binder strategy. I made a free course called the binder. You can find it at diontalk.com. It's how I get my tenants to ask me to raise the rent. So when I talk about real estate and I say there's a very simple way to find cash flowing rental properties on the MLS, because my tenants are going to ask me to charge more rent, other realtors will have me on because it grows people who would be interested in our niche as a whole. So I have not met somebody in YouTube like Michael Zuber, who is competition. Every person that Mike brings into this will eventually look for other content creators in the same niche to look for opposing views, confirmation bias videos. And I think we actually grow by interacting with those creators instead of making hit piece videos on why they're a guru or a fraud or whatever. I talk about Dave Ramsey often. He's got the first 2 steps are great. The last step is awesome. Everything in the middle doesn't work for me. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Everybody that Dave Ramsey brings into possibly looking at real estate or financial independence is somebody who could look at your channel or whatever your niche is in. So I wouldn't look at other people as competition. I would look at the ability to cross-pollinate audiences and grow both of your channels.
Yeah, it's an expansion of the subject matter itself. It's an expansion of interest, more viewers, more videos to be recommended against. The way the suggested algorithm works, when somebody starts going down a rabbit hole, it's more depth of the rabbit hole. Because if you're listening to this, that's probably what you've done at some point. You started to explore a topic and you clicked on one person, you looked at somebody else's take, another video was recommended. And the fact that happened could be the very reason you got discovered. In that case, competition was a funnel to you as opposed to a problem. Dion, you dropped some fire tips today. They're very unique. People want to check your stuff out. That's a great resource. Of course, too, getting into financial freedom and getting educated by you. Shout out your stuff and we'll link it up in the show notes.
Thank you. And I'm hoping I didn't fanboy out too much because I am actually a fan, watch you all the time. And I appreciate every video you put out because I teach in real estate. At least 30% of what I teach in real estate is directly from this channel. The concepts you cover on confidence comes from competence, how you go into the art of war to talk about strategies and tactics. And all of that is applicable to a ton of different business models.
Well, I appreciate that. And so check out Dion Talk's stuff, like, rate, and review, and share this episode if you know somebody that should check it out. Shout out to Michael Zuber and Heartfelt Productions for making this series on our Think Media podcast possible. We're here at the Nevada Center for the Blind at the One Rental at a Time event. So massive love to Michael Zuber, One Rental at a Time, and massive love to you, Think Media Podcast. And if you made it this far, because everything I'm doing right now is destroying watch and listen time, but if you're still here and you haven't left a review on the Think Media Podcast, it would mean the world to me, specifically on Apple. If you're on Spotify, it's easy on Spotify. It's a star review. You just boom, hit the star review. 5 is preferable, but whatever you feel is honest and fair. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, leaving a text review does really help audio downloads and helps more people discover the show. My name is Sean Cannell, your guide to building a profitable YouTube channel, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next one.